Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today it's about what if Deku was in high school DxD. So, in the last video we talked about how, basically it was pretty much like another filler episode where Izuku and the rest of the DxD cast, including, Katase and Moriyan, because remember, both of them are ghouls now, or at least half ghouls, because both of them have organs thanks to help of Izuku basically transplanting them with them. More specifically, I think, Moriyama's supposed to have an Ukaku, while, Katase is supposed to have, a Kaukaku, which are these two. Anyways, continuing on, as after, arriving at the room, they would decide to do, Truth or Dare, which, let's just say, was disastrous to say the least. Some friendships were sort of ruined, but the last part, which was between Izuku, Izuku was forced to do, a game known as, 7 Minutes in Heaven, or 20 Minutes in Heaven, as I called it in the video, because for some odd reason I decided to go for 20 minutes, but either way, continuing on, because I decided to use the coin flip, thing in, Google, well, let's just say Kaneko won, and Kaneko was forced to be with Izuku in this little, part of the story. And so, because of this, well, let's just say some things happened. Apparently, Kaneko there was basically like a flashback moment where Izuku met this white cat. And this white cat was actually, Kaneko. Oh boy, let's just say things got a little bit weird, and after that, Kaneko wants to be with him. Yeah, oh boy. And let's just say she sort of became a little bit, capital H. And, during their little, fun time, well, or at least sort of fun time, I mean, Izuku was not really into that. Well, one of them specifically, I think it was Rias, or at least I think so. But when Rias opened the cabinet that is where they're basically in, well, let's just say everything goes silent. And let's just say everybody except for our lovely little boy, aka, Saji over there, well, let's just say all of them were mad. Or at least most of them. Because, some of them, like for example, Tsubaki, don't really like him. Because, she's currently, like somebody else, aka Mr. Saji over there. But for the others, well, let's just say they were pissed. Especially our lovely little girl, aka, Sona. And let's just say Sona is currently glaring daggers at her. And after that day, they would start leaving to go to their bedrooms and get some sleep. But before we ended off the episode, we currently saw a girl basically going into Izuku's bedroom. And that girl seems to have blonde-ish hair. So yeah, before we start this video, well, the guy who just said, another name besides, the other, blonde-haired characters in this story, well, god dang it, when I got into the last part, and when I remembered it, I just go, what the fuck? I was just, laughing my ass off after realizing it. But either way, continuing on, let us talk about what happens next, ladies and gents. So, we currently see Izuku waking up, pretty much early in the morning, as you can see this. God, I felt pretty nice, honestly. As after saying that, he would start, getting ready to get up, but he would feel something heavy on him. As you'd say, as he would take off, at least, lift off a bit of his, blanket. As after lifting it up, he would notice Kiba. Yep, and I also used, again, the, flip a coin thing on Google, and, tails are for, tails are for Kiba, and, Bravo is, heads, and you know what I got? Tails. Yeah, apparently, I think it's probably just, going for tails as a, default for some odd reason. At least I think so, but what the fuck is it? I keep, let me just, wait for a second, let me just confirm. Sorry about that. Anyway, continue on. It seems like, it's actually random. Thank God, I almost thought it was, well, whatever. Anyway, continue on. As we currently see Kiba waking up, as she would say this. Oh, good morning, my king, she would say. As she would start, after saying that, Izuku would start, well, as a normal teenager would do, he would start, feeling something rising from his pants. And it ain't the shield hero, by the way. Oh, God. As Izuku would say this. Kiba, what are you doing here, he would say. As the blonde-haired, knight of Rios would start saying this. I just felt, like staying here would be nice, she would say. As after saying that, he would notice her basically, wearing, let's just say not safe for work clothes. Let's just say that. NSFW clothes, let's just say that. As Izuku would start feeling something coming out of his nose. And it was colored red. As he would say this. God dang it, he would say, as he would try to, cover his nose a little bit. As she would say this. Why? Do you like it, she would say. As she would start getting closer, as she would basically press up her chest towards Izuku's as well. Oh boy, and let's just say Izuku is definitely feeling something rising, and it ain't the shield hero. As Izuku would say this, please stop it, he would say. As she would say this, oh, don't worry. I'll be gentle, she would say. As after saying that, she would start getting closer and closer. As Izuku would say this, please stop, he would say. As before she can actually continue, they would hear the sound of the, of the sliding door basically open. As he would notice that it's actually his mom. And also his dad. Oh boy. As his dad would say this, hey Izuku, it's time to eat as his mom would say this, hey Izuku, it's time for breakfast. As they would notice him basically, sort of being pinned down by, by Kiba, aka currently best girl in my opinion, because after seeing some of the fan art of her, dang nice. God dang it. Anyway, continue on. As after, seeing this, Izuku would say this. Mom, don't, he would say. As she would say this. Oh god, if you don't know this certain anime, it's called Tokyo, Ravens. And that one scene with the guy basically basically trying to hide from that certain, blonde-haired bitch over there. Oh god, this is exactly like it. Just imagine that certain scene. Yeah. God, it made me laugh the hardest. Just imagine, just remembering his face. Just like, oh god, I should run, I should hide. But either way, continuing on, as, his dad would say this. It seems like my son is starting to grow up, he would say. As Izuku would say this. What is that supposed to mean, he would say. As, a few people would basically come in as well. Mostly, well, his soon-to-be wife, aka, her, aka Sona, as Sona would say this. Izuku, it's time for breakfast. As after seeing this, she would, start becoming a little bit, red in the face. But would also start becoming mad in the face. As she would say this. Mind telling me what is going on, Izuku, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Wait, hold on, it isn't what you look like. I swear, he would say. As she would say this. It seems that I will have to discipline you, she would say. As she would grab something, and this something was, a sword made out of freaking ice. As Izuku would say this. Wait, hold up. As before he can, the screen plays black. And then it goes back to normal as we currently see Izuku currently having a large ass bruise on his head. Which, by the way, somehow doesn't heal. Oh, wait for a second, guys. As we currently see Izuku currently, eating some, fresh fish. fresh fish that, his mother and father caught. As we also currently see the other girls, mostly, the girls that are confirmed in this harem, like, for example, Kaneko, Aisha, which I also forgotten to say, and also, some others, like, for example, Calvin or, Moriyama and Tatase, they're currently glaring at a certain blonde-haired girl. As we also currently see, a mad-ass, chicken over there, aka, her, aka, brother to the worst person imaginable, aka, actually not really the worst person to say the least, but still one of the worst, aka, Bravo Phoenix, as she was also glaring at, at Kiba, as she would say this. So, how was that night between you and, Izuku, she would say, specifically his mom, as Izuku would say this. I don't really remember, honestly, he would say, as one of them would say this. Really, son? Huh. It must have been a great night, he would say, as Izuku would say this. Wait, hold up, he would say, as he would say this. Well, I can definitely see why, because I keep forgetting every time I get a good-ass night from your mom, as Izuku would say this. Alright, can you please shut up, he would say, as, she would say this, specifically, the girl of the hour, aka, wait for a second, goddammit, aka Kiba, as Kiba would say this. I didn't really do much last night. I actually just, came into your bedroom while you were sleeping. As after saying so, the other girls would start, clenching their fists while they're eating. As we also currently see, a somewhat, concerned, like, Rainer, as she would say this, specifically to his mom, or Izuku's mom. So, Miss Victoria, I don't think that they're happy, she would say, as, Miller would say this. Oh, no shit, she would say. As after saying that, we currently see the other girls as well, basically, getting away from the situation. Mostly, well, not really mostly, but more specifically, our lovely little girl, aka Tsubaki, as, Saji is also there, as Saji would say this. Yeah, good luck. You have to, wait for a second. He would go like, yeah, good luck on you, he would say, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, he would say, as after saying so, they would basically, basically rest up after, eating. As while they're basically resting up, Izuku would basically, be there in, like, the sun, as he's currently, doing some exercises and even training with his, spear, aka, well, I guess you could say, Kazakli bait, but I'm just gonna call it Dracul. As after a bit of training with Dracul, he would hear, hey, Izuku, they would hear, or at least Izuku would hear, as Izuku would say this. What is it, he would say, as he would look over and would see his mom and dad. As, his dad would say this. Son, I wanted to, ask you this, he would say. As Izuku would say this. What is it exactly, he would say. As he would say this. Well, you see, he would say, as one of them would say this. Specifically his mom. Yeah, it turns out that apparently the other factions, more specifically, well, the Greek, the Norse, and most notably, my faction, as in, the Celtic faction, are wanting to basically meet with you. But because they're currently busy, they're planning to go to a certain, a certain meeting in the underworld soon, she would say, as Izuku would say this. Wait, really, he would say? As she would say this. Yeah, and apparently they wanted to give you a present. Mostly the, the Celtic, aka my faction, and also, well, my, I guess you say, sort of like, sister faction, sort of, but it's more like, I guess you could say it's sort of a sister faction because, well, I mostly got this from Fate. Apparently, Skyhawk's guy Bogue is actually like a sort of like, copy or sort of like, predecessor of the, or at least predecessor maybe, of the legendary, I think it was called Gungnir. Yeah, Gungnir, aka the spear of like, of Odin. But either way, continue on, as after, saying so, he would say this. Oh, really? And as he would say this, specifically his dad. And also, apparently, the faction that is, for the, you know, for the, what is that called again? God dang it! And as for the Norse faction, they actually wanted to give you a weapon themselves. Apparently they wanted to do that because apparently, and I quote, because you're sort of like us, we're deciding to give you some stuff. And also because after hearing that you're, some sort of like new, dragon, emperor, they want to at least, give you, or at least give you a present to be on your good side, he would say. As Izuku would say this. I see, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically his dad. Oh, and either way, apparently my faction, aka, the Kyoto faction, aka the Yokai faction, are apparently wanting to see you. Mostly because, you're after all a yokai, or at least even though you're a half yokai, but still, he would say. As he would say this. Wait, really? Why exactly, he would say. As they would say this. Not really sure yet. It's been a while since I actually gone back to Kyoto. But still, he would say. As Izuku would say this. I see, he would say. As after saying so, one of them would say this. Specifically his, mother. As she would say this. Oh, and by the way, Izuku. After hearing about, well, you see, after hearing about apparently the fallen angels, not really fallen angels, I meant, after hearing that they're going to be making a little meeting between, the devils and also the Norse faction, we need to prepare there. We also going to be, going there in about after our vacation, she would say. As he would say this. Sure then. As after saying so, he would start leaving. So, after leaving, he would start, going back to his little, workout routine, as he would start becoming a little bit tan. As we currently see some of the girls basically watching him. Mostly the girls in Izuku's, harem. And let's just say they're instantly drooling after seeing him basically, having, a glistening body in the sunlight. As we currently see, Akeno basically whispering to herself, Ara. God dang it. Ugh. Why do I even, follow him still? Whatever. Anyway, continuing on, as we currently see, well, her, aka, Miss Sadist over there, aka Akeno going Ara. He's kind of cute when he's basically listening to the, in the sunlight, she would say. As we also currently see, a currently, blushing ass, well, Sona, as she's currently trying to, cover her eyes. But failing miserably because she's currently, peeking through her fingers. As we currently see the others also, seeing this. But the most prominent is currently, Issei, as she's currently, drooling as well. As we also see Irina also, drooling. As we also currently see, Zenobia thinking of some plans. Plans that I would rather not talk about on YouTube, or I might get banned to oblivion. But either way, continuing on, as after doing a bit of, work, he would start hearing somebody in the distance. As he would hear, "Hey, Zuku, can you help me out?" she would say. As after looking back, he would see, well, let's just say, Ravel. Oh boy. As Izuku would say this. Oh, what is it, Ravel? He would say. As he would notice her basically on a beach blanket as she's currently, grabbing something. That something was, well, lotion. As she would say this. "Hey, Izuku, can you help me with, applying it on my back?" she would say. As Izuku would start blushing a little bit. As he would say this. What? He would say. As she would say this. "That's what I said. I just want you to help me out applying this," she would say. As he would say this. As he would start blushing a little bit. As she would say this. "Don't worry. I promise you won't see anything of that sort," she would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Sure, he would say. As after saying so, we currently see the other girls basically glaring at, well, the little chicken over there. As, we currently see, well, a pretty angry ass, well, Sona, as she would say this. "I'm gonna turn you into frozen chicken nuggets," she would say to herself. As we currently see the others also planning to. As we currently see, Ria's planning a ball of destruction, and we also see Issei planning to, jump in as well. Mostly to basically get into that action. Oh, wait for a second, god dang it. Anyway, continue on with the episode. As, after thinking of this, we currently see, Ezekiel applying, a bit of, this lotion onto his hand. As Ezekiel would say this, okay, I'm doing it right now, he would say, Ash would say this. Just make sure to try not to do anything weird while I'm basically in this vulnerable position, she would say. As after saying that, Ezekiel would say this, yeah, sure, he would say, as he would start blushing, completely, his face is completely red. As he would start, massaging her back, and applying some of the lotion as well. As she would say this, oh, your hands, they feel good, she would say. As Ezekiel would say this, please do not say it like that, he would say, as he would start blushing even more. As Ezekiel would start, applying a bit more, as, she would say this, can you please put some, more on my hips, she would say, as he would say this, sure, he would say, as he would start, doing some more things, let's just say that, as he would start massaging a bit of her, not really massaging, more like, putting more on her arms, as he would start putting some on her neck, as she would say this, I think that's a little bit more up over here, she would say, as Ezekiel was told to basically put some more on her, shoulders. As Ezekiel would say this, sure, he would say. As after doing so, Ezekiel would start, applying a bit more lotion, as he would start applying on her, shoulders, as she would say this. That feels nice, she would say. As Ezekiel would start blushing even more and feeling, the tenseness of the area. Mostly because of the certain girls over there basically glaring at her. As Ezekiel would start, feeling a little bit worried, thinking about how they're planning to basically murder her in their sleep. And that's just a fact. As Ezekiel would say this, so, is there anything else you would say? As she would say this, oh yes, there is, she would say. As she would basically flip over, as Ezekiel would say this. Wait, as she would say this. I want you to help me with my thighs, my chest, and my buttocks, she would say. And if you don't know what is that reference, well, you probably don't know me. Oh, god dang it. As after saying this, Ezekiel would start blushing even more, but before he can do anything else, we would hear somebody speeding towards them as he would see... Well, Kaneko, as she would say this. Here, she would say, as she would basically grab some of the lotion, as she would forcibly try to massage, ravel, as she would start laughing, feeling a lot of, feeling like, she was starting to feel, ticklish. As for Ezekiel, he would go well, I guess my job here is done, as before he can actually do anything, something would basically make him slip, as, yeah. Oh boy. As after slipping down, both Kaneko and Bravo would basically slam into each other. As Ezekiel would be, would basically have, his arms basically stretched out, and he would also have his face buried into her melons. And as for Kaneko was also basically on top of him as well. As she was also, let's just say, revealing some forbidden... Oh, god dang it! As we currently see Ezekiel after doing so, as Rabbit would start blushing even more. As we currently see the others, as the others are planning to basically step in. As Ezekiel would say this, I'm so sorry, he would say. As she would say this, don't worry, it's fine, she would say. As after saying so, Rabble would basically start, playing with her hair a little bit, as Ezekiel would say this. Anyway, are you okay, Kaneko? He would say, as Kaneko would dust off a bit of her, off a bit of the dirt, as she would say this. I'm fine, she would say. Sorry about that. Sometimes I yawn in weird ways, but either way, continue on. As Izuku would say this. Are you okay, Kaneko? As she would say this. I'm just fine, she would say. As she would say this. Did he even compliment me chest, she would say. As she would, notice some of the girls there, as some of them, or at least most of them, would have, let's just say, massive chests. As she would say this. Boob monsters, she would say. As after saying so, we go back to Izuku. As we currently see Izuku basically changing into some normal-ish clothes, as, he's washing a bit after that little interaction, to say the least. As after a bit of washing, he would say this. I think that's enough, he would say. As after saying that, he would start getting ready to change into his new clothes. As when he was about to get his underwear, he would say, wait. As he would start looking around, he would say this. Where's my underwear? He would say. As we currently go to another perspective. As we currently see a perverted ass Issei basically, smelling his underwear. Yeah, even though she's a girl in this what if, she doesn't change at all. As she would say this. Smells nice, she would say. As she would start smelling a little bit, as she would say this. She would start smelling it even more. As we go back to Izuku. As Izuku would say this. God dang it, where's my underwear? He would say. As after saying that, he would start looking around even more. As he would decide, I guess I'm going commando, he would say. As after doing so, he would basically wear his pants, as he would start leaving to basically go somewhere that he can probably get his pants, or at least, get his, underwear, or at least get some new underwear. As after, after looking around, he would arrive at his bag, as he would change into, some new underwear. As Izuku would say this. This is certainly going to be annoying, to say the least, he would say. As after saying so, he would get ready to gets ready to, do his other, do some other things, as he would get something interesting from, his mind. Or more specifically, from Dracul, as Dracul would say this. Izuku, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Oh, hey Dracul, what is it, he would say. As he would say this. I want you to come to to your mindscape immediately. Not really immediately, but, let's just say a bit quick, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Oh, sure then, he would say. As after saying so, he would decide. God dang it. Wait for a second. As Izuku would say this. Sure then. As after basically laying down on his futon, he would start going into his mindscape. As after doing so, he would hear the sound of, a certain voice, aka Dracul. As he would look up, as he would see Dracul on top of the dragon once again. As he would say this. Hello there, he would say. As Izuku would say this. So, what is it, Dracul, he would say. As he would say this. Well, remember that not really dragon girl, I meant that certain girl back then. You mean that, what is her name again, he would say, as he would say this. You mean Kataria Leviathan, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Yeah, but why exactly? As he would say this. You remember that you'd have forgotten to basically bring her out? As he would say this. Oh, yeah, I forgot, he would say. Wait, is she still alive? As he would say this. Yes. Well, let's just say mind broken, but still, he would say. As he would say this. Wait, excuse me, what? He would say. As he would say this. Yeah, let's just say I tortured her, turned her into a new familiar for you. Well, yeah, he would say. As he would say this. Excuse me, you basically what? He would say. As he would say this. Yeah, I know it seems bad, but still, she was also a bad person, but thankfully, I was able to tame her, he would say. As he would say this. So you're telling me that you basically Stockholm Syndrome her, he would say. As she would say this. I mean, as a few seconds later, as he would say this. Never mind about that. But either way. So, do you want to meet with her, he would say. As he would say this. Why exactly, he would say. As he would say this. Well, let's just say she was starving. For at least attention, at least, he would say. And also, I'm wanting to at least bring her out, at least, he would say. As he would say this. Oh, sure, he would say. As after saying so, he would start, leaving to go towards Kataria Leviathan's location, aka the Void Prison, which not to be confused with with the Prison Dragon, aka, well, what is his name? Saji's like sacred gear. As after opening the large gate, he would start going in it and would start, leaving to go towards where Kataria Leviathan is. So, as we currently see Izuku basically going through the large ass, portal, you would see that he's currently in a black void. As the void, or at least the void that was basically, that is being controlled by him, he would basically, float down as he would feel a floor, or at least a floor, type substance. As the floor almost feels like concrete, or at least some sort of concrete. As he would also see in front of him Kataria Leviathan, stabbed multiple times by several swords, or at least, not really swords, I meant polearms, and also some chains basically nearby also, basically captured her, as all of them seem to be almost like, completely like, chained her up, like, almost like a wild animal. That's like the first villain, like the first Kung Fu Panda movie, that's basically what she is, but except, not tired and angry, and also rage-fueled, instead depressed, heartbroken, and probably mind-broken. Actually more like, mostly mind-broken and probably Stockholm Syndrome in one large-ass package. As Izuku would basically walk up to her, as he would say this. Hey, as the girl would not, open her eyes, but still be, closed. As Izuku would say this. So, Draco, did you, as he would say this. Yeah, I sort of overdid it, he would say. As he would say this. I see, he would say. As he would start looking at her once again, as he would say this. Hey. As he would start, knocking on her head a little bit. As he would say this. Hey. As he would start knocking on her head once more, once again. As he would say this. I'm guessing she's still pretty much asleep, he would say. As he would say this. Why not bring in some food? She might be hungry. I think, he would say. As he would say this. Sure then, he would say. As after saying so, he would basically come out of his, mindscape, as he would start, going back to, to the kitchen over there in the large ass, apartment that, not really apartment, but more like large ass room that they got. Not really gone, but more like, the large ass house that they got. As after, basically moving in, and basically grabbing some food, mostly some simple milk, cereal, and also some, leftover, like, rotisserie chicken, he would start going back into his mindscape, as he would also put some of the food in the, large pocket dimension. As after doing so, he would finally, Izuku would basically in the void once again, as he would basically grab the cereal, food, and other stuff, as in the void, he would start creating, a chair and also a table. As after doing so, he would say this, hey, as the girl would basically start smelling the food. Mostly the chicken, as she would say this. She would say, as she would open up her eyes, as she would notice Izuku there, as she would say this. She would say, as Izuku would say this, so, nice to meet you, Kataria, he would say. I mean, we did meet, but let's just say not in a good type of situation, but still, as she would say this. She would say, what do you want to defeat me? Broken me. Broke my pride, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Whoa, you definitely don't look good, he would say. As she would say this. You think, she would say. As he would say this. Yep, definitely, he would say. For a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on with the episode, as we currently see, Kataria basically, or at least, her actual name, which I realized I was saying it wrong, which apparently was, Kataria, not Katarina. I've been saying that wrong multiple times. So I'm just gonna be calling her Katarina because it's more like, my style, as he would say this. You hungry? He would say. As she would say this. I'm so hungry, she would say. As Izuku would say this. Hey, can you please get her out of those, pole arms, he would say. Dracul would say this. Oh, yeah, he would say. As after doing so, all the pole arms would basically retract, basically going back into the void. As she would basically, get out of it, as she would start sort of healing. I mean, sort of, as in sort of. As her healing would not really work, but at least it's giving her enough power to basically get onto the chair and also the table. As she would say this. She would say. As Izuku would say this. Here, he would say. As after saying so, he would grab something. AKA, the food, as he would say this. Here, you want some, he would say, as she would say this. Or at least, not really say anything, because she would just nod her head. As she would say this. Oh, sure, here, he would say. As he would basically give her some of the cereal, and would basically pour in, milk first, and also, the cereal. Yeah, I do that. Even though I rarely eat cereal, I do that. Don't judge me. That's how I freaking do it. And if you're wondering, wait, if you drink, milk, as in, actual milk, then, wait, no, basically, if you're wondering why I'm saying this, is because, in the Philippines, we don't really have, like, actual milk, as in, liquid milk. We use, instead of that, we use, powdered milk. So, if I'm going to be eating, like, cereal, or at least I rarely eat cereal, I'm probably just gonna, grab, like, a, separate glass and basically pour, like, some milk, or at least powdered milk of my choice, like, for example, either Milo, or, well, let's just say, like, another chocolate, chocolate drink, like, for example, Energen or Champion. So, yeah, basically similar to that, but either way, as, Catherine would start chowing down as she would start eating some of the rotisserie chicken, which was, microwaved. As she would say this. I've always wanted to eat again. Thank you, she would say. As he would say this. Yeah, don't mention it. So, how was your... As he would say this. I mean, she. Torturous. I couldn't even hear anybody. The only thing that was able to keep me company was my thoughts, she would say. As he would say this. Oh, I see. Here, he would say, as he would basically bring in some water, as she would say this. Thank you. As she would start clearing her throat after basically drinking some of the water, as she would say this. Aren't you mad, she would say. As he would say this. Mad? As she would say this. Yeah. I did almost try to kill your fiance's, your fiance's sister, so... As he would say this. Oh, no, I'm not really mad. It's more like, I was sort of, like, pissed off at the time, so I didn't really think straight, but seeing you now, you seem to just be a normal girl, but let's just say misunderstood, he would say. As she would say this. Really? As he would say this. Yeah, you're probably just like a normal girl, but because of your upbringing, you're... As she would say this. Yeah. After being in this world for so long, it sort of changed me, she would say. As she would have, as one of her eyes that was, sort of like stabbed by Dracul, because he was trying to, teach her how to at least be disciplined and sort of, get some, humility in her ass. Which is also the name of a freaking... I'm not saying that. No, I would probably be, the D, right? Imagine that as a... Oh, god damn it. Either way, as she would say this. Just imagine that your eye was basically, was basically turned off, but it was slowly healed. As she would say this. Yeah. for saving me. Even though you probably hate me, she would say. As you would say this. Like I said, I don't hate you. As she would say this. Thank you, she would say. As you would say this. Yeah, don't mention it. Either way. As you would start looking at her once again, as you would say this. I think it's better for you to rest. After all, you're probably pretty tired. As she would say this. Yeah. I'm tired, she would say. As she would start, laying down on the, on the table as you would say this. Alright, I'll be letting you out in a few days, so, you can stay here if you want. Just let me tell, my friends over there that, as she would say this. Really? Wait, can they really accept me? She would say, as you would say this. I'm sure, at least, I think, if they can, as after saying so, she would say this. I'll be thankful for you if you were able to forgive me, including what I've did, she would say. As she would say this. Yeah. Anyway, I should be going. Bye, he would say. As after saying so, he would start leaving, as she would say this. He was nice to me. As she would start, clutching a bit of her chest a little bit. As Shakur would say this. It seems that her mind seems to be sort of fixing itself. I certainly have an interesting host, he would say. As after saying that, he would go back to the, to the Mindscape itself. As we currently see Izuku waking up from this little, talk with the girl, aka, Katarina. As you would say this. Alright. Guess I'll be getting ready to leave, or at least getting ready to get some sleep now. And so, after saying so, he would look at the night sky as he would say this. Well, I guess it is already nighttime, I guess. As, after saying that, he would start going, he would start preparing to get some sleep, even though he didn't really have any, dinner. But he was pretty much okay with that. And so, after that, Izuku would instantly fall asleep. But, would also currently see somebody, currently something happening. We go to a new perspective, as we currently see, as we currently see something happening in, well, Asgard, aka, or otherwise known as Valhalla, as we currently see Odin basically there, as he would say this. So, are the preparations alright, he would say, as he would say this, specifically one of his, loyal soldiers. Yes, everything is ready. Are you really wondering why you're doing this, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, I want to at least ally myself with the devils, especially after hearing apparently about this kid with the ability to use the powers of this so-called Hydra Emperor, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this. Yeah, it's quite interesting, said one of them. As he would say this. Yes, quite. Now, as for you, Loki, he would say. As he would say this. What is it, Odin, he would say. As he would say this. I will not let you insult any of the devils there. I've heard of your little rumors, and I won't be trusting you ever since of that little incident. I especially don't like that you were thinking about, Ragnarok. As after saying that, he would say this. I assure you, I will not make any mistakes, he would say. As he would say this. Whatever, he would say. As he would look towards another. More specifically, a girl. A girl with, wait for a second. As he would look towards a woman. A woman with pure white silver hair. Sort of silver hair. And also has bright blue eyes. She also seems to be wearing some sort of headdress that resembles, angel wings. As you would see this. Now, Rose-wise, did you get the... As he would start looking at, looking at her, as he would say this. The special swords, he would say, as he would say this. I mean, she. Yes, Odin-sama, she would say, as he would say this. Good. Now, let's prepare. After all, we're going to be allying ourselves with the devils. After all, the threat of the Chaos Brigade is certainly quite terrifying. as after saying so, he would start leaving, as we would currently see Loki. As Loki would say this. Is he seriously going to be allying with some of those pathetic low ranks? Just pathetic devils, he would say. Certainly annoying, but still, I could easily defeat them. But it's still quite interesting why the almighty queen herself, the great, for a second, I don't know why the Ouroboros dragon herself wants to get this Izuku kid to be her mate. But still, it's quite an interesting thing, but I'm definitely going to be beating that kid instantly. It's just a single slash, I would say. I should prepare myself, after all. I heard that this kid is even rivaling a god, but it will easily be defeated by me, and with the power of the Ouroboros dragon herself in me, I can easily defeat that kid with a single slash, you would say. As after saying that, we would end this episode right off here. So, yeah, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!